Great job reading. Now I want you to tell me, when you were reading, did you use a making text that seemed very complicated, simple organizer for a nonfiction text, or did you use a story organizer for a narrative text? Which one? You're right. You should have used a making text that seemed very complicated, simple organizer. Air high five. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is you're going to listen to Mrs. Lardner read through the text, A Tennis Star. I'm going to be highlighting my topic sentences. Remember, this whole week we've really been focusing on highlighting our topic sentences and then finding the main idea of the text that we're reading. So that's what we're going to go ahead and get ready to do. Let's get started. All right, A Tennis Star. I'm seeing a lot of text features here. I'm seeing headers. Those are really great clues to let me know what the paragraph is going to be about. Let's get started. Early years. Jimmy Connors is known as the greatest tennis player of all time. Jimmy Connors was born in 1952 in St. Louis. His mother was a pro tennis player and built a tennis court behind their home. Jimmy's grandmother was also a tennis player. They both taught Jimmy what would become his famous two-handed backhand shot. When I read that paragraph, I always need to find the topic sentence. What is this paragraph mostly about? Well, I know this paragraph is telling me the early years of Jimmy Connors, but all of those sentences are really evidence or telling me why or how Jimmy Connors became known as the greatest tennis player of all time. That's my topic sentence here. Second paragraph, tennis pro. When Jimmy turned 16, he started to play with a tennis champion who trained him. That's pretty cool. Jimmy went to college for 1 year, but then dropped out to play tennis full time. He had a strong game on the court. He liked playing with a steel racket, which most other players did not like to use. Tennis was known as a polite sport, but Jimmy was known to let his anger out. People loved to watch him. This paragraph is telling me a little bit more about what was happening before he became a tennis professional, but really some of the things that he did to make people love to watch him. He played with that steel racket, he let his anger out, he had a strong game. These were all things that he did that made people love to watch him. This is the topic sentence. Oh, you're going to go potty in the big boy potty?
No, in the little potty with the so, and I get the cookie.
And then you're going to get a cookie?
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi? No? Okay, well, good luck. That's my son. We're potty training. You guys got to see Landon. All right, paragraph 3. Let's keep going. Jimmy finally stepped into the spotlight. He beat the champion and won the U.S. Pro in 1973. The next year, Jimmy won 3 major tournaments with a total of 99 wins and 4 losses. Whoa. He became the sport's #1 ranked player that year. What's the topic sentence of this paragraph? Think about it for a second. When you have your answer, go ahead and, what can we do? Touch your nose. Which one did you say? The first sentence, Jimmy finally stepped out into the spotlight. Pat on the back. Good work. That is the topic sentence here. All of the other sentences in this paragraph are really supporting this idea of him getting into the spotlight. When we get into the spotlight, it means people start recognizing us like a celebrity, or in Jimmy's case, a professional athlete. He did all of these things, and because he was so successful, he stepped into the spotlight and people started recognizing him. Best player. Being called the best player in any sport is very special. What makes Jimmy the best tennis player of all time? Jimmy Connors won 1,256 matches, more than any other player. What is most important is that he won these tennis matches against other great players. What I'm going to look for here is I want to look back at this text feature, the header. This is telling me that these paragraphs are going to be about kind of like why he is the best player. The sentence that is sticking out to me as the topic sentence is this first sentence, that being called the best player is very special because Jimmy did all of these things to be called the best player. Let's read the next paragraph. The highest trophy a tennis player can win is called a Grand Slam. There are 4 Grand Slam games each year. A player must win all 4 to win the final Grand Slam. For most tennis players, it is hard enough to win 1 Grand Slam. Jimmy Connors won 8 Grand Slams. Whew, my goodness gracious. That means that this Jimmy guy was a pretty good player. So I want to think about what's the sentence in this paragraph that's going to be showing what this paragraph is mostly about. This one, I'm thinking there might be 2 that are kind of connected. Starting with, for most tennis players, it's hard enough to win 1 Grand Slam. Jimmy Connors won 8 Grand Slams. That to me is going to be my topic sentence. It's another reason why Jimmy is the best player in tennis that this author is trying to convince me of. Coaching. Jimmy had a long tennis career. He played for more than 20 years. Eventually, Jimmy retired in 1996. He became part of the Tennis Hall of Fame in 1998. He decided that he was not completely finished with the sport and began coaching. His famous playing style lives on in some current tennis stars. This sentence here, he decided he was not completely done with the sport and began coaching, matches with my header. This paragraph was mostly about his career and then how he became a coach. Jimmy's legend. Jimmy's tennis game was exciting to watch. He had a special style of playing that a lot of other tennis players have tried to copy. He had an attitude that helped him never quit. He helped make tennis popular in the 1970s and 1980s. He was the most competitive player in the world. What is this sentence mostly about? Well, the idea here that he was exciting to watch is supported by a lot of these other sentences. He was exciting to watch because he had a special style, because he had a really good attitude, because he was the most competitive player in the world. These are all reasons why Jimmy's tennis game was really exciting to watch. Last paragraph. Jimmy Connors was a fantastic tennis star during his career. He had a great record of wins. He won some of the hardest tennis matches against other great players. He was famous for winning 8 of the biggest tennis trophies. What was most special about Jimmy was his style of playing tennis. He made the sport fun for fans to watch because of his attitude and changed the game because of it. This last sentence here, the fact that he made the sport fun and his attitude, because of his attitude, and that he changed the game of tennis. That seems pretty important and tells me what that paragraph was mostly about. Whew, you guys, we went ahead and we finished reading A Tennis Star. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we're filling out our organizer. So what I want you to go ahead and do is, once this video is done, you're going to scroll down and you're going to answer some questions. I've snipped in pictures, of the paragraphs that we just went over, and I want you to tell me what is the topic sentence of these paragraphs. When you're done, you'll click next, and I will see you on the other slide.